Good morning, hope you're doing fantastic and welcome to the tube. Today we're going through a full day of eating of a bloke that's 6'6" and 96.5 kilos as of this morning. First meal is not really a meal, to be honest. It's 9:30 and we're starting off the day with a coffee, probably about 250 mils of milk, and also I've been really trying to make sure I get this in recently, much more water. So we're screwing a litre to start off the day, of course with some Robinson squash to kind of make it taste nice. So I'll go through all the meals today. We'll be having meal one soon-ish, but I tend to like to kind of push it back a little bit just so I can eat more later on in the day. So yeah, meal one, kind of coffee. See you for meal two. Alright guys, the real meal number one is here, and this has been an absolute staple in my diet for literally the past 2 years. I've tried to make this look nice, but it's just an impossible feat. We've got blueberries, we've got oats, and we've got some whey protein to top it off. 100 grams of blues, 50 grams of whey, and 100 grams of oats again. There's also 250 grams of milk if you are interested. Obviously, this meal is an absolute staple because of A, it fills you up. B, the whey is going to give you a hit of protein without filling you up loads, or at least without taking ages to digest, which is obviously good because I'm going to be training soon, so I don't want to have some sort of heavy protein source kind of sitting in my stomach for ages. In terms of the benefits of this, first of all, you've got the blueberries, which are actually really high in vitamin C, vitamin K, all that good stuff. It's going to be good for kind of anti-inflammatory, antioxidants as well, which is obviously a good thing. And then the oats are obviously really high in fibre, so they're going to keep you full for long. You're going to be feeling good, feeling ready to kind of attack the day. And there's a load of other benefits like high in iron, right bucket, potassium, magnesium, all that good stuff. So basically this meal's really good for you, and I'd recommend it if you're not sure what to have for breakfast. Anyway, you're going to scran it. See you for meal three. Right chaps, meal number 2.5, 3 if you're including the coffee. We've got 2 beef chili wraps with peppers, sweet corn, bit of taco seasoning that I made myself, and then I also put, you might be able to see, a little bit of honey on top, which sounds weird, but for some reason I really like it. Obviously, this is a bit of a banger for the old protein hit. We've got about 300 grams of beef total within these wraps, 175 in each. So, what we're probably talking about 70 grams of protein. I'll have to check my meal plan, maybe a little bit more actually. So, a really good hit of protein from the beef. The wraps is obviously a decent carbohydrate source. There's probably better out there for satiation, etc., but I personally just like it. And then the peppers, really good dose of vitamin C. I'm pretty sure in one pepper, if you have a full pepper, you're basically ticking your vitamin C box for the whole day. So that's ideal. So yeah, plenty of macros, plenty of protein, decent hit of carbohydrates, and then also some decent fats from the beef as well. Just small enough from the fat department to not go overboard, but also tick the box of the fats that we need for healthy brain function and hormone production and all that sort of good stuff. So yeah, this is meal number 3. Gonna scran this now, and then back onto a couple more calls with the old clientele. Just had one with Harry, which is always good to catch up with him. He's a bit of a traveller. Well, not a traveller, that sounds like he's a gypsy. He's not. His work involves lots of travelling, so he's off to Canada soon. So a busy man, and always restructuring things to make sure it fits. But anyway, let's scran this, and then meal 4 will probably be back at home. I might be having a pizza, we'll see. Also, I forgot to show you here, I'm also onto my 3rd litre of water, well, about halfway through now. I've been trying to have a really conscious effort recently to put away a lot more water. And also just constantly dehydrated, skin was a little bit dry, and feeling dehydrated going into my sessions as well. So I've increased my water intake with the goal of to have around about 5 as a minimum, which obviously sounds a lot. Most people need about 3, and if you're active, maybe 4. But obviously being quite tall, quite heavy, at least in comparison to normal people, 6'6", 97 kilos, I probably need quite a lot more water. So we're putting it away with the help of the Robinsons to make it make it a bit nicer and make me actually want to drink it a little bit more. So yeah, 2.5 in, probably 2.5 to go. Okay, so we're heading for meal number 3, I believe, and I'm actually going out for this meal, and I already know I'm going to have the hot honey pepperoni pizza. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to explain the crack behind eating out and kind of how to manage it. Now, in hindsight, I should have made some changes to my meals early on in the day to have slightly less carbohydrates. However, they were already prepped, so the only meal I could have changed would have been my oats. So if you are going out for a meal, I would probably just have less oats or less carbohydrates in whatever meal you're having. Now, for my sake, thankfully my food is quite high right now, and my second to last and final meal is normally quite high carbohydrate anyway, so they tend to add up to around about 1,400 calories with those 2 meals put together. So for today, I'll be having the pizza, which is going to take up most of those calories, and then all I'm going to do is go to the shops and head for some protein supplementation, which is to be confirmed on what I'll actually have yet. So the calories might be a few hundred over, but nothing major to make a big difference in anything really. So that's the protocol. I'll show you the pizza, but I'm not going to take my camera in, and see if the meal full. Good evening. I believe this should conclude the full day of eating. It's been a bit of a slightly abnormal one, I'll be honest. Obviously, going out for food, going out for drinks is a whole part of this process. But at the same time, you know, maybe I do it once every 2 weeks, maybe once a week when my mum and dad are asking me to go out for food and stuff. But today was obviously just with Holly. And then we didn't opt for a dessert. We went to the shops and got a Solero. I was considering having the yogurt to kind of bump up the protein, but actually when we were out for food, I ended up getting half a pizza that I shared with Holly, and then half a chicken burger, which obviously topping up the protein requirements. So I've pretty much hit my protein targets for the day, maybe slightly below. Obviously I'm kind of guesstimating from the meal out, but it was all very nice, and pretty much all targets have been roughly met. So I'm sure it'll be better the next 5 days across the weekdays, but I think overall this has been like a realistic day of how you might balance something like a meal out. Basically, as long as you're not an idiot, it's quite easy to manage. You've just got to actually think about it slightly, which I'm sure all of us could do with a little bit of effort. So hope you've enjoyed this tube. If you did, please do subscribe. There'll be a button there to subscribe, a button there for the next tube that you may want to watch, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.